everybody, and welcome to Round Robin, a bi-weekly podcast where we try to answer the weirdest, strangest, and smartest questions only found on the internet. I am your host, Ryan Neitzey, and on today's episode, first of all, welcome everyone back. Thank you coming back to the season 2 of Round Robin. Thank you everyone for coming back to the show. I hope it's going to be a lovely season 2. Joining us today, we have the lovely, the beautiful, the fair skin, the foppish hair, Evan Bowen.
I'm a modern day dandy, based on that description. It could have been anyone, but once you threw in the foppish hair, you knew it's got to be this little dandy boy.
Dude, modern day dandy is the best wrestler name I've ever heard in my life. 6'3", 220 pounds, the modern day dandy, Evan Bowen.
Woo! The Foppinator strikes again.
The worst wrestling move. And joining us today, we also have the Gregory Leonard.
BAMP! If you want it. BAMP.
So
I had to do it, Ryan.
The audio is just atrocious now. I'm so sorry. We just got really obsessed with the Childish Gambino song Redbone, I believe it is.
Specifically, the bass pop in the normal riff. For instance, bum ba da ba da bum 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 bum. You know the one. You guys are cultured folk.
Oh, of course.
Naturally.
That guitar, anytime that's that, is it guitars or bass? It's got to be a bass,
it's
right?
It's got to be a bass.
A
little flea bass slapping.
It's a little sort of a stinger, just a board of.
Yeah, it's real good, real solid.
Really, really great.
Yes, well, thank you guys for coming on back to the show, and also I want to thank everyone else for coming on back to the show again. Season 2, so let's get right into it. Fellas, Evan Bowen. First question, Round Robin, Season 2, hashtag. Evan Bowen, what are you going to get? Reddit, Yahoo, or Gmail?
Oh, God. Oh, man. I did not prepare for this. All right.
It is the only thing you cannot prepare for coming onto the show.
I think let's go for some Reddit.
Ooh, Reddit. Oh, yeah, Reddit. Okay, can I get a 1, 2, or 3? We got some good Reddit questions in this episode.
Let's go for a 1.
Ooh, a solid number 1. Let's go solid number 1.
Oh Lord.
Okay, here we go. Can I get a name for this person?
Redbone Dandy.
Ooh, Redbone Dandy.
That sounds like a southern gentleman.
It is I, Redbone Dandy. Welcome to my estate.
Welcome to my estate. Redbone Dandy writes, first off, get out of the way now. Hey, Mom, how's it going? How do you throw away a realistic life-size sex doll?
Oh.
All right. Is that it? Is that just it?
I mean, will they accept them at the dump or recycling center? Are they even recyclable? And how would you even get out of the house without looking like you're trying to dispose of a murder victim?
All right. Well, you say, are they recyclable? It's called, do you have a little brother?
Indeed.
Ooh, interesting. So you're saying not necessarily recyclable as in throwing away, but as
reduce, reuse, recycle.
It's a family tradition. It's passed on from.
If you don't have, if you are the youngest, if you were given the hand-me-down realistic life-size sex doll, your local Salvation Army is always looking for realistic life-size sex dolls. I'm sure.
The generational
Can you imagine being
recycle.
like 13 or 14 and losing your virginity to a sex doll. Just because that's what every man in your family's done.
What a weird
30
tradition.
years.
It's like, what a weird tradition that only have lasted maybe 30 years at best, where it's like, man, that's like
but the weird
two
part
people.
is
That's like 2 people of it, maybe.
the weird part is, you know, when you're losing your virginity to it, you're not fucking it. It's fucking you.
Oh, yeah.
Naturally.
Naturally, of course, but the nature of the sex doll.
Go on, son. Your first time has to be with Bertha. Go. Go.
Oh, God. Is this...
I'm imagining it's in an interrogation room with the two-way mirror.
Oh, no.
And the whole family's there eating cake and sitting in the other room.
There's one guy with like a bass guitar that's just like every There it is. Yeah. So, Greg, how would you, Greg? You obviously have experience with sex dolls.
Interesting thesis.
Naturally.
How do you, when you're finished and done with them, and when you just throw them away like any other person, how do you throw them away?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, you see, when you've developed like an emotional attachment like that, it's sometimes hard to let go. And that's understandable. And so what I've done is I've created a brochure. You can find it online. It's the 5 stages of letting go of your sex doll.
Interesting, really. So I can just look it up right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what's the website?
It's www.sexdollgoodbye.com.
Sexdollgoodbye.com.
Oh, excuse me. Sexdollgoodbye.squarespace.com.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense. This
Okay. Episode sponsored by Squarespace.
That is hopeful.
Build it beautiful.
Oh, no such account. You could buy that URL today.
I mean, a smart investor would.
Smart man would.
I feel like that's a high traffic website already.
Sex doll goodbye. What?
Yeah.
So you said it was a 5-step program. Hit me those steps. Let's
All
go
right.
step 1
So,
of getting rid of and moving past your sex doll.
all right. So the first stage is anger. You know, not all of them do, but your first stage for specifically sex doll goodbyes is anger.
Of course.
Because, you fucking paid good money for that sex doll.
Of course.
What are you
yeah.
going to do now?
Yeah, what am I
And
going to do
then-
with this thing?
You've got bargaining, as in the actual selling of the sex doll. Maybe bartering up for a better one. Who knows?
Bargaining is the
Yeah.
B word.
Oh yeah, trying
Yeah,
to
those
trade up,
Bs.
going to GameStop, trying to trade it for some new games.
And then you just get a shitty, coin. It's like, what?
Right. And then a little sadness follows, It's bound to happen. Just because, it's these things are special. They're important to your life.
You had a relationship with the sex doll.
Right. Next is acceptance. You're accepting the new sex doll into your life.
Oh, you got it. Okay, whoa, we got real quick. We got a new sex doll?
I mean, you can't be without
you can't
a
be
sex
without
doll.
a sex doll.
What are you doing, Ryan?
Come on, Ryan.
Do you mean
no
to tell
wonder
me
you're so insane.
You do not have a life-sized sex doll in your dorm right now? Do you really mean to suggest?
Bam.
And what's the 5th stage?
What's the 5th stage? Here's that 5th stage. After you
Tapping that.
Naturally.
So
Breaking her in. Or him. No judgment.
So the 5th stage in getting rid of and moving past your sex doll is tapping your new sex doll.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
You can't really get over your old one until you get to your new one.
The Dan Harmon story circle of this thing is you go through the mud of sadness and acceptance, and then you come out with a new sex doll.
Yeah, naturally.
It's a hero's journey.
I guess in the Dan Harmon version, it wouldn't be a sex doll, but rather like a mannequin leg.
It would be
That's
Morty.
besides the point. It would be Morty. Morty.
Another thing I've been thinking about is, if you're trying to get rid of a sex doll, you could always go with the old standard, just having corrosive semen. And that way, just after eventual wear and tear, it just dissolves away and turns into dust. I feel like that is the most fitting and natural end to any and all life-size sex dolls.
How do you have corrosive semen?
I thought we all did.
Greg, do you have corrosive semen?
It's very interesting. I have known to. I was contacted by the Hulk at one point to team up.
Yes.
But I've left that life behind me.
What was the 5-stage process for leaving that life behind you?
Step.
He's so ready to jump in.
Hey, Greg, how many 5-step processes do you have on doing anything?
5.
We
Each of them is their own step.
we call Greg Fitbit because his steps that he's got.
Indeed. I used to average about 20,000 steps a day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot
sometimes
of
even
steps.
more. And then the iPhone health app updated, and it was really, I didn't like the format, so I was just like, fuck this. I know that I take enough steps in a day. And so I've kept up my methods for step counting. I just don't count my steps anymore.
And he doesn't walk anymore either.
Yeah, no.
That's what it was.
It's the past,
You know,
yeah.
Lost my feet to, the diabetes.
There's he had a 5-step process of losing his feet, and
Yeah.
step
Yeah.
3 is diabetes.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Let's move on to the next question. There it is. I'm very sorry if the audio is blown out and all these things. You just can't adjust for the bamps in
The name
time.
of this episode better be fucking BAMP.
So what is the phonetic spelling of bamp?
Well, it's similar to Nightcrawler's bAMP,
Yeah.
probably. But you gotta be able to emphasize
All
the
uppercase.
P.
Oh, it's definitely all uppercase. That's without a doubt.
It's a lowercase b, uppercase everything else.
Ooh. Yeah, lowercase b, uppercase amp.
Yeah.
So BAMP.
Little b, AMP.
Exclamation mark
Yes.
Oh, naturally.
for the bamp.
Bam.
Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry for the audio.
Synchronized bamping.
I'm very sorry for the audio, everyone. You not want to have blown out audio on episode 1 of season 2. Yet here we are probably. I don't know. That's for something future trying to figure out.
Maybe the audio will fuck itself up in some new exciting way, and we have to record again.
I mean, Greg, are you saying that this may not be our first time recording episode 1, season 2?
Oh,
No, this is all
just-
fresh.
This is pure conjecture. This is just speculation. What if we
hypotheticals.
lived in a world where we recorded like 4 questions worth of round robin and then didn't get to use any of them? You know, that would just be absurd. That's
yeah,
like a ghost world.
somehow we were recording and it somehow got interrupted by someone. Who knows? That would be ridiculous.
Or you're like listening it back and it's like all with this echo effect that someone somehow put onto the mixer for some stupid reason.
Or somehow Audition is in a weird loop and nothing got recorded.
That'd be stupid.
that
would
does
be-
not make sense.
That would be the work of a very bad podcaster, I think.
Huh.
Bap. Bang.
Moving on to the next question. Greg, Reddit, Yahoo, Gmail.
Yahoo.
Yahoo. That was bad. Anyways, 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Greg, can I get a name for this person?
Walter Murch.
I believe that is not the. I believe that might be the second time Walter Murch might have been on this podcast.
I mean, he's a big fan.
he is a big fan.
He must have
got a lot
really
of
good
questions.
advice on the first one.
He's just like listening to the podcast at home, like with the space bar, hands on the space bar, and in the
He's
cowboy
in,
stance, like ready,
Gunslinger position.
the gunslinger position, ready to just really get some edits out of there. So yeah, Walter Murch writes, "How long can a little girl hold her breath? I have a date in a few days. Anyone help?"
You have a date with a little girl in a few days?
Greg, Walter Murch wants to know, how can a little girl hold her breath?
I mean, there are a few ways of finding out, and you know.
What are the 5-step process in finding out how to figure out how a girl can hold her
Step
breath?
1, find a little girl, one with big lungs, like a swimmer.
Naturally.
This is a borderline horrifying question.
Yeah. Walter Murch should probably be in jail.
Probably.
Walter Murch being a real Mohawk kid from Glee.
Was it? Which character was that? Was that
Puck.
Puck? That's what
Noah
it was.
Puckerman.
Yeah. So wait, that was. So Greg, how long can a little girl hold her breath?
Let's see. Well, I am a fan of the Showtime series Shameless. I don't know if either of you are familiar. And in the second season, there's an episode. No, it's the third season. Excuse me. So sorry.
Fucking amateur.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to go bleach myself right now. So there's a storyline in which the younger sister wants to go to the local pool, but the dad won't let her until she can hold her breath for a full minute underwater.
That is a while.
Yeah, it's quite a time. And I believe at the beginning of the arc, she can only hold it for like 15 to 16 seconds. But by the end, she has it at a full minute. And so, yeah, I guess it entirely depends on experience and like sort of your lifestyle. I'd say on average, if I had to guess, I'd say that average little girl could hold their breath for about maybe 15 to 20 seconds.
Okay. What in the episode? Obviously, throughout the arc, she gets into she can hold her breath longer.
Yeah.
What did she do to help have her breath last longer?
Lots of practice. Basically, she would have someone time her as she held her breath as she would hold her breath and stick her head into like one of those above ground pools.
Okay.
And so she would just keep practicing over and over, and her times would eventually go up and up and up.
Interesting.
Couple things I'm thinking about. One, Tom Cruise can hold his breath for about 7 minutes underwater or something.
Well, I mean, that's the Thetans.
Yeah, and also he's not a little girl, so
He
I
acts
mean,
like
not
one.
outwardly.
He is
He giggles like one.
he is one of the two things, little or girl. I don't know which one, but he's definitely one of those two things.
You can only be one or the other.
Yeah, that's how life works.
Hollywood.
You can only be one or the other.
And then also I'm thinking about that scene in Hot Rod where he's trying to condition his body for the big stunt, and he asks his team to hold his head underwater and help time him for a minute, and then he just ends up passing out, and it's a great scene. Cut this part out, never mind. That was terrible delivery.
No, it's fine. But in that same example, they're also not a little girl. Evan, the question that Walter Murch is
dodging
asking
the question.
You are a political person here, Evan.
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding from us?
Why does he need to know about little girls and their breath?
Do you know how long a little girl can hold his breath? Is that what you're trying to hide from the public? Evan
I don't
David
think the public
Bowen
is ready
Evan
for this
Bowen.
kind of
Just answer
information.
the question.
Just answer the question. Easy.
Answer the question.
Just answer the question, Evan.
They're not ready.
Who's not ready?
The little boys.
Why are they not ready?
Because they're still little. I mean, come on.
You're underestimating
But all right,
little boys
let's go
everywhere.
back to the question.
At hand.
Why does he have a date with the little girl, and why does he need to know how long she can hold her breath?
Well, we know the answer, obviously. Greg, can you give us the answer?
I mean, obviously they're going bobbing for apples.
Of course.
Naturally.
And sometimes, when you weigh down the apples with rocks, they get to the bottom, and you gotta hold your breath a long time until you can get to the apple. It is what it is.
And I believe
Such
after
is life.
the apple bobbing, they are going to go scuba diving, but without the scuba gear on. They're just going to go free roam scuba diving. Diving, not diving.
And then he's gonna go boating by himself. And
I hear in the open waters, no one can hear you breathe. But no one knows how long it lasts. So
Yeah,
it's
no
not
one
a big
knows
deal.
how long you can hold it.
Evan, do you know what else?
I think it'd probably be around 20, 25 seconds.
Okay.
For a little girl.
So a little bit higher than Greg's. Now, when we're saying little girl, what are you picturing? Are you thinking of what kind of age range are we thinking?
So I used to be a coach in training for swim team. So I'm surprisingly well versed in how long a little girl can hold her breath.
Creepy, go on.
And when I think, I guess, little girl, there's this one little shit. She was about 8 when I was 14 or something.
Yeah.
And she was a little hellion that she probably hold her breath for about 30 seconds or something.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Evan,
Walter Murch wants to hit her up.
Yeah. Evan, how long do you want a little girl to hold her breath? Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Specifically.
You specifically.
I don't think
How long does Evan Bowen want a little girl to hold her breath? Let's
I don't
get that
think
in a
it's
perfect
safe.
world.
I don't think it's safe for me to say
Well, Greg,
that I want anything from a little girl.
Greg can easily answer this question. Greg, how long do you want a little girl to hold her breath?
4 minutes.
Easily. Evan, what's your answer?
All right, she should beat out Tom Cruise with 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about, Evan. That is the hard-hitting journalistic answers that we want from you, Evan Bowen.
You knew.
You knew.
And you let it happen to little girls.
Oh God,
You monster. What do you have to say for yourself, Evan?
that's a long time. 7 minutes and 30 seconds for holding your breath.
Bam.
I think we're good. I think we just go into the commercial break and we need to get some more answers out of
We
you,
need
Evan,
to
about
think about
We
our
need to get to the bottom of
lives.
this.
we need to get in the bottom. Why does he have a date in a few days? Anyone help? He can probably do some research online, do some Googling.
If the local police of Owings Mills would like to contact us,
Yeah.
I don't
get
know.
this Walter Murch character behind bars.
If he's saying a few days, that is pretty
still
smart
time.
of him. Preparing ahead, writing on Yahoo Answers, because it takes a little bit for you to get some Yahoo Answers.
Of course.
So
There could be
giving him
several
a few
little
days.
girls in that
Yeah,
time.
this was posted 4 years ago. So that little girl is
That little girl
Not
was
so-
Jean Benet Ramsey.
oof. Oof.
Yikes!
Don't know how to transition to the commercial break now.
Bam.
We'll see you next part.
Yeah, after the break.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
God.
Round one,
Hey everyone, this is Ryan, and I'm here with season 1 freaking guest, Donovan Gora. Donovan, how's it going?
It's going great.
Thank you for coming on to talk about an arrow in flight is motionless and how you, the audience member, can help us out in making that very film.
Now you may be asking yourself, what is an arrow in flight is motionless?
It's a long title.
Yep. We should work on that. No.
It's too late.
Yep.
We've committed.
Oh well. Anyway, it's a surrealist drama about how our self-image affects our behavior and relationships. The film follows a boy named Arrow who must come to grips with his life, his mental illness, his passive nature, all while dealing with these extraordinary, larger-than-life characters.
Whoa, and those characters are larger than life. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
agree?
Real big.
We got a person named Sage,
We got Fit Frank,
Big Dave.
Nicolas Cage.
No, just Nick Cage.
Oh,
it's
right.
not actually Nick Cage. I've never looked into if that's actually copyright or any issue.
You can't have a copywritten name.
Prince probably did.
And Johnny Depp.
Wait, Johnny Depp actually has a...
No, I have no idea.
Anyways, this is where you come in, the audience. This is where you can head on over to our Indiegogo page, which is linked in the description of this episode. We've got tons of perks for you so that you can get more bang for your buck.
Perks like shoutouts,
Woo!
behind-the-scenes documentaries,
Woo!
cool posters,
Yeah.
side scripts,
What?
and even
No.
the mask
What?
that is in the film.
The mask that's in the film?
The first thing you see.
That's crazy. It's actually a really cool looking mask, gotta say.
It's pretty sweet.
I'm really excited. I really want someone to take that home for them because it's gonna be looking real cool. If I do say so myself, Donovan.
Well, you did say so yourself.
Fair enough.
But I'm agreeing with you.
Thank you for your agreement. So again, click on the link in the description, and thank you everyone so much. It truly means a lot to us. Now, enjoy the rest of the show.
See you guys.
And we are back. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Making copy. How was your guys' summer? How was the round robin off season treating you?
I was falling apart without my bi-weekly episodes around Robin.
That's what we like to hear. Greg, how are you doing this off season?
It's pretty good. There was this one loser I would occasionally hang out with, a few times over the summer. We do dumb stuff, like I went over to his stupid house to play board games, and one time he wanted me to go see Spider-Man with him. That was pretty dumb.
And is there anything else, shared memories that you guys had?
Oh, I mean, we went to a play one time. That was pretty solid. Yeah, he wasn't. The play was.
Was he liquid? Was he gaseous? What do you mean by solid?
He was very gaseous.
Oh, okay. It's probably all the beans he had
across the
night
room.
before. Yeah. So yeah, that's that segment, I guess. That you guys shitting on my parade.
I did no such shitting. I actually took the poop back into my butthole on your parade for that segment because I said I love round robin.
Is that the phrase?
Yeah, that's the opposite of shitting, right?
Shitting on my parade is scooping it up and putting it back in my butthole.
Reinserting.
Yep.
Just fecal transplant.
This is a weird beginning of the episode, but I feel like we should just get
Not
right
the
into
beginning
it.
of the episode. You fucking ding doom.
Fucking flub lord. It finally happened.
It finally happens. Better to get it out of the way now than anyway later. So yeah, we're in the middle of the episode. It's been an off season too for me. I gotta figure out stuff.
How to run a podcast.
I haven't run a podcast in forever, and I'm getting back into it. So give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that. Bam, bam. Let's get back into it. Evan, I believe it's your turn. Reddit, Yahoo, or Gmail?
All right, let's go with a Gmail.
Ooh, Gmail. Can I get a 1, 2, or 3?
Let's go for a spicy number 1.
Spicy number 1. Where is this person coming from? What is their name? Tell me their backstory. Tell me everything about this person.
All right, this person is a single parent.
Oh, okay.
They recently divorced, but it was a good divorce. You know, they're still friends with their ex, shall we say, dog? Their ex-dog that they divorced from. And their kid is a dog centaur, where they have a dog's body but a kid's torso.
Nightmarish imagery.
Okay, so it's kid from the waist up.
Yeah.
Dog from the waist down. What kind of dog?
I
feel like it would matter with the description.
Jack Russell Terrier.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That kid's going to be a dysfunctional adult.
Why? Because they're so wacky dogs and so much energy in them, you know? Oh, I've got Jack Russell. I love that little guy.
What's this person's name?
Jackson Russell.
Is it this kid's name or is that the...
That's the parent's name.
That was the parent's name.
That
the
is
single
asking
parent.
this question.
Of course, Jackson Russell. Right.
That inspired them to. They thought it was a fun coincidence that their significant other was a Jack Russell, and then, well, actually, their significant other wasn't a Jack Russell. Their significant other was a corgi. And when the Jack Russell Centaur came out,
that's why.
what split them apart.
That's sad. That's sad. Do you think that it was? Never mind. So is it Jackson? Jackson Russell.
Jackson Russell
Writes, I need advice. I'm trying to transform my skin/body/bones into a food substance. Which substance should I research/go with? Thanks. Jackson Russell. So I'm trying to transform my body into a food substance. How do I go about doing that? How do you transform your body into a food substance?
Skin/body/bones into food substance. How do you go about doing that? First off, I guess I'll be the wet blanket and say, can't humans be a food substance? Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the real answers. All right. First off, skin, fruit roll-ups. Easy.
Easy peasy.
Flesh, like actual body.
Like the meat.
The meat.
Oh, yeah, the meat.
That's going to be circus peanut material. The orange
okay.
marshmallow type thing.
Yeah.
But it's not really marshmallow. It's like weirdly pliable.
It's
like,
soft and like malleable and pliable a little bit, but at the same time it is that has that tension that can really support some fruit roll-ups.
And then the bones are pretzel rods.
Now that is fragile. I feel like that is, of all things you've named so far, that is now a very fragile part of the body. What about let's go further, the nervous system.
All right, the nervous system, we're going to go with pixie stick wrappers.
Just the wrappers?
Just the wrappers.
Okay. The digestive system?
The digestive system, we're going to go, it's a tough one. We're going to go with crazy straws.
Ooh,
you can't eat
straws.
them, but you can digest through them.
That is true.
And then
the
stomach is going to be just a rack of ribs. A rack of pork ribs, naturally.
Makes sense.
Reproductive organs. Let's go with let's think. I think a corn dog.
Which part is the corn dog?
Which part is the corn dog?
Which part of the reproductive organs is the corn dog?
Yeah.
You got two little corn dogs hanging down. And then
It's more like hush puppies.
Yeah. Facing out, you've got your little. Ooh, what can it be?
What can it be?
So we got corn dogs.
Greg, do you have a pitch for the reproductive system for the thing hanging down?
I don't know about the thing. I don't know about the thing hanging down, but I gotta say, it's 2017. Just eat ass.
It's 2017, y'all.
Do
Come
it.
on.
No, there's no shame in eating your ass.
Now, I know Evan, but I'm not, I guess, completely positive if this is serious, but are both of you prominent ass eaters?
Of
I'm
course.
not. I won't say I'm prominent in the ass eating community quite yet.
I am
Okay.
a celebrated member.
I haven't gotten a chance to build up my name. I'm like a
spread your
sound.
To build your brand.
I'm a SoundCloud rapper of the ass eating society right now. You know, every now and then I get in a Twitter rant and then I'm like, oh, while you're here, look at me eating ass. Like, check this out.
You're like ski ass the slump god.
It's a very
I like-
specific reference.
I like post on Pornhub links every now and then, like, oh, this is nice, but I'm a better ass eater, by the way. Like, trying to build up my brand.
Here's
you know?
a link to me eating my ass.
Yeah,
Wait,
my
sorry.
own ass. Because that's how the best in the biz do it. They start on their own.
Start on the
You gotta
ground
start
floor.
somewhere.
Yeah. Start on the ground floor, the pounds floor.
I went from me eating my own ass to my realistic sex doll.
to have it going on a date with a girl.
No, to adult consenting other people.
Now, when you're eating ass, how much of a
You have to hold your breath while doing it.
Yeah, that's,
naturally.
Yeah, how long can you hold your breath when you're eating ass, Evan?
Call me Tom Cruise because it's 7 minutes.
That's why they call you Evan 7 Minutes in Heaven Bowen. Greg.
Interesting.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, let's go back to the meat and potatoes here.
Sure.
Trying to transform your skin, body, bones into a food substance. What would you go about? What do you think?
Let's see.
What's the process like of transferring your body into a food substance?
All right. Well, obviously, all right. So this is going to be your own body, but like you're the one eating it. Like you're preparing this for yourself, or is it for somebody else?
I feel like you're preparing it for yourself.
All right. So this has got to be like organs you don't necessarily need to live. So I'd say you start off with like toes, toes and fingers.
Toes and fingers.
Yeah, your fingers are more like sort of lean meats, sort of leaner cuts.
Makes sense.
So I would figure those would be sort of along the lines of like chicken nuggets or like fish sticks.
Ooh, fish sticks, but a meaty stick.
Fish
Yeah,
sticks
yeah.
are a strong choice.
A meat stick. Why did they never made like meat? So they have like mozzarella sticks. They have fish sticks. Have they made like a meat version of
Like meat sticks,
Yeah, would it be the chicken fries?
I guess.
From
Kinda.
Burger King's.
probably.
I mean, we could talk about Slim Jim and Slim Jim offshoots. I once went to a gas station and saw something called a fatty, which was just a meat tube that was about, I don't know, an inch diameter, and it was a fatty, all right.
Evan, sorry, Greg. My mistake, Greg. What else do you get rid of?
All right, so you've also got these little toes. These are sort of fatter than your fingers are, but they're also smaller. So I figure these are going to be prepared similar in the way of like little like chunks of sausage or meatball or like ground beef, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So those are obviously the first to go, and then sort of as the more you want to eat of yourself, you sort of work your way from the outside in. Like if you're sort of standing fully.
Greg's
Sort of
doing a
fully
full
engorged.
Starman right
Yeah.
now.
I am Starman, and so you would just sort of work your way from the outside in. And eventually you'd just be like the Black Knight in Monty Python, where you're just a head and a torso walking around craving human flesh.
Of course, naturally.
Because now you've got a taste for it.
You got to satiate
You've got a
that taste.
taste.io for it.
Ooh, solid reference. Evan, what's the nutritional info for when you're eating your own body? Like, what's Greg describes a lot of the lean protein that's coming out of it, but if you're looking at that pyramid with the real chunk of wheat at the bottom of that, like where are you going to get these leafy greens? Where are you going to get these fruits? Where are you going to get this wheat, this nutrients that you crave, that you need? Are you going to get that from your body alone?
You can get plenty of fruits from your body. They're actual, we call them dingleberries that you can get and pick up. Those are great servings of fruit. You
The
know?
literal fruit of the loom.
There's also the fruit of your labor.
Yep,
I
definitely.
enjoy them while they still ripe.
And then if you need something to kind of like, spice it up. If you're trying to fry something, you want to use, all natural ingredients. You could throw in some elbow grease. That's pretty smart.
I also know that if you're friends of a boxer, or if you know someone that does like wrestling or fighting on the daily, their cauliflower ear tastes real good when it's prepared with a little bit of good seasoning. That tastes real good.
Oh, that's a good choice. And then
If I don't know if you've got any cops in your life or not, but you can hook yourself up with some pig's feet. That's real good.
Yeah, pig's feet, yummy,
and then
in my tummy.
If not, if you're kind of a person that that does a lot of walking. You know.
Yes, yeah, I do a lot of walking.
Yeah. Well, your dogs are barking. Have some.
Well, now we're eating dogs. They're not really part of that pyramid scale. I mean, I guess it's meat. I mean, pig's feet is still kind of meat, but now we're eating dogs. Was that? I don't know if that's.
Haven't you seen the pyramid recently? It's got dog on it. That's it's below the bread and grains, where
China
it's an even
really
bigger
is seeping
chunk.
its way in.
It's the new base is dog.
It's the same pyramid, just with another bigger chunk of dog that you have to eat. Mm-hmm. You have to eat a litter of puppies a day, basically.
Wow, that's is the top of the pyramid now cats, or are they off the table?
Cats are like the sweets, where it's like on the side where you're not really supposed to have them, but you can have them every now and then if you're
just
feeling frisky.
Treat yourself, yeah.
Do we have any other food-based body puns?
If you need your carbs, your pasta, macaroni elbow.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. It was not fruitful to go down that road. Greg, Reddit, Yahoo, or Gmail?
Let's see. I will go Reddit.
Ooh, another Reddit. Greg, I believe it is 2 or 3.
I will take number 3, my lord.
Number 3. This one's great. Can I get a name for this person?
Fiona Farquaad. Because in my version, they ended up together.
Hold on, can you? So I've heard fable tale of your feature-length rewrite of Shrek.
I have vision.
Can you describe it for us real
Not
quick?
in real life, but in sort of the movie sense, I have vision. So in my version, Fiona ends up with Farquaad, and together they conquer this fairy tale kingdom. This puts them directly in competition with Prince Charming and the fairy godmother, as well as Rumpelstiltskin from the fourth one.
Oh,
Well, of course, I feel like Shrek as well, right?
Yeah, Shrek is sort of like a Jon Snowish figure, where like you think he's going to be super important, and then he takes this sort of side story, and then right towards the end, he begins to become this prominent figure because there's an assault from an outside force, and it's sort of this Game of Thrones-esque world set in the Shrek lore.
it's only natural.
Now,
I
what-
feel like that's the direction that they were initially going to take
So
it in.
if we're going to go with the Game of Thrones analogy, instead of White Walkers, would he have Smash Mouthers?
Indeed.
Okay, just making sure.
Smash Mouth / Counting Crows.
Oh, naturally.
Well, no, the Counting Crows are guarding the wall.
That makes. Of course they are. Then Fiona Farquaad, right? Am I getting that correct?
So Farquaad is sort of.
I wasn't aware that you were not done, Greg. I'm sorry. Please continue.
I'm going with the Game of Thrones analogy. So Fiona and Farquaad clearly in this situation, they sort of mirror Cersei and Robert Baratheon in that they're sort of married, but they have no romantic connection to each other.
Okay.
She is in love with Prince Charming, secretly her brother. Storyline. It's been brought up several times that he looks a lot like Jaime Lannister.
Is the donkey and the dragon Daenerys Targaryen?
And Khal Drogo. Khal Donkey.
Oh, God.
Okay. Interesting. I have never seen a single
His son
episode
will
of.
be the steed who mounts the world.
Of course, I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, so I can't really continue this analogy. I did as best I could with only watching trailers.
You're a bitch.
Fair enough. Fiona Farquaad writes, every time my girlfriend has to do a CAPTCHA, she makes me do it because she can't figure it out. Is she a robot?
Let's see. Well, Ryan and I, over the summer, we were kind of talking. We determined that robots flub a lot.
They do flub a lot.
Yeah. And so,
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No. Ryan never flubs.
No, I never flub. Sorry, I never flub.
Oh, God. I don't feel safe in here anymore.
So if your girlfriend's a real flubthany Lord Tano, you might want to check into whether or not she's a robot.
That's the start of your new comedy tour.
You might just be a robot.
Greg the robot guy. Greg, can we hit another one? Can we hear another one?
If your girlfriend likes to eat gears instead of cereal, she might just be a robot. Ah, ja, ja, ja.
Man, that really appeals to middle-class working Americans.
Average blue-collar Americans. Also, just to correct you, Jeff Foxworthy does that bit, not Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah.
Huh.
Otherwise, it'd be like Gear.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Does he
When
hear?
do we throw in the racist puppets, or
Oh, that's later. That's the third act. To get a little more backstory, Fiona Farquaad's girlfriend, she can pass the letters that have lines CAPTCHA, but not the ones where you get to click all the pictures of roads in it or click all the storefronts.
All right, that's normal.
I have watched her fail to complete them several times, and it makes no sense. Every time she has to complete a CAPTCHA, she calls my name, and I have to do it. Any explanations? Evan, do you have any ever trouble with CAPTCHAs as a human being?
personally, I don't, because I'm a human, but I think this does require further insight. I'm going to say, for your own safety, you should try to observe her sleeping habits, because if she doesn't crawl in the bed and she stands in the corner and unplugs something from her and plugs into the wall and goes,
She might just be a robot.
There it is. I think what I would suggest is you would get your girlfriend, just pick her up, throw her into the pool. See how long she holds her breath for. If she holds her breath forever, or if she just short circuits and explodes underwater, then, Greg,
She might just be a robot.
I feel like in almost a fucked up way, all these questions get up into this alternate reality game, and they're all connected. Because honestly, what if she's an improperly disposed sex doll?
then she might be.
A robot.
Oh my God, that is a great question. Like we've had this sort of theme, this sort of like a narrative structure going throughout the.
It's all coming together. It's like the 21 grams of podcasts.
That's one of the reviews. That's on the DVD box cover for Round Robin, season 2. It says the 21 grams of podcasts, written by, of course, Sean Penn.
I have a question.
By which means it sucks.
I have two questions. One, how much does a soul weigh?
I do not know. I believe it's like a pound. Yeah.
That makes sense. Next, what are the bonus features on the DVD copy of Round Robin Season 2?
Well, of course, you're going to get, the DOI. You're going to get the color commentary. That is, of course, we have me and maybe some other guests come back on, and we do the commentary over the podcast episodes.
Is it full screen or widescreen?
Both, actually. It comes on Green Ray.
Yes.
It's this new sort of thing.
Does it air on full screen?
No, actually, it airs on VRV, which is don't worry about it. We're not sponsored by them. But you can also listen to all of this new DVD copy on audible.com. Anyways, we are at the end of the episode. Now we have to go find the next guest for the next episode.
Oh, yeah, that's a new process, right?
So, yeah, we have a new process of picking guests where we have literally a bunch of names in a hat, kind of. And by hat, I mean a Google Sheets file.
It's like a type of hat if your girlfriend wears a Google Sheets file for her hat.
She might just be a robot.
Interesting. The John Cena came
Cross
out?
the memes.
Okay, interesting. Greg, you did just steal the laptop. I also need to see the laptop.
Oh,
If your girlfriend also needs to see the laptop.
she might just be a robot.
I mean, for that one, any person would want to see a robot, right? I mean, not a robot. I don't flub. Duh. Anyways, the next guest, what we're going to do is we have a Google Sheets file right in front of us. We have a list of names of a bunch of people that have been on the podcast in the past, maybe along with some new faces as well, or maybe not faces, obviously new voices from the past or in the future. And what we're going to do is just literally reload the page, and whatever we have it like randomized two names from that list, whatever two people show up is who will be on the next episode. I have not asked these people if they want to be on the next episode. We have no idea what's going to happen. Here we go. Greg, would you like to do the honors and reload the page and get next episode's guess?
It would be my honor.
Okay, just hit the
3,
enter. Okay,
2,
here we go.
1. Bam.
Okay, it's loading. It's loading.
Here we go. Next episode's guests will be.
Here we go. Hold on. It hasn't. I think it has. Does it?
I think it has.
All right.
I saw
Next
one name
week's
change.
guests will be Kennedy Bivens.
Oh, that's a new voice. That's a new voice of the podcast.
Not yet revealed to the world of Ryan Neitzey podcasts. And recurring guest, Zach Burkeen.
Interesting. A Kennedy Zach episode. That is.
Oh, I can't wait for that
I think
dynamic.
there could be some real chemistry there.
That could be some real chemistry.
I don't know that I've ever seen these two interact.
I don't know if they know each other.
I know they had a class together, but
So-
I don't think they really talked much.
So tune in to the next episode to hear
Zach Burkeen and Kennedy Bivens.
interacting for possibly the first time ever. That is what we do
That's
here on Round
recorded
Robin.
history.
That's what we do here on Round Robin Season 2 is we bring people together. That is what our goal for the show is.
Or it might be two other people.
Or we'll see everyone next time.
Who knows?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Round one in pod. Round one in pod.
I would like to thank Evan, Bowen, and Greg Leonard for coming on to this first episode of Round Robin Season 2. It was a hilarious episode to record, and I love having both of those guys on. It is a treat for me, and hopefully you, the audience, as well. It's wonderful to talk to them always and every day. Artwork was created by Kayla Zuromski, and equipment was provided by Wild Stings Radio Studio at Stevenson University. And if you, the audience, has any weird or smartish questions or find any from, say, Reddit or Yahoo, send them in to roundrobinpod@gmail.com. It's during this long break I had to scour the internet globe finding more questions, but we always want more Gmail questions from you. So if you have any, please send them in to roundrobinpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @RoundRobinPod, and you can always review the show on iTunes. Leave a little 5-star review and a comment. We love reading it here on the show. It means a lot to us. As always, I'm Ryan Neitzey, and thank you so much for listening to Round Robin Season 2. This season's about to be the best one yet. Granted, there's only been one other season, so being the best yet is just making it even better. So the mountain, just climbing up. Anyway, the analogy didn't work as well. Either way, next episode's coming out December 7th, so we'll see you then. Stay smartish.